It is time now for our daily dose of culture. For that, I'm joined by Olivia Salazar-Winspear. Welcome to you. Now, you're bringing us the cultural angle on the Queen's Jubilee and a lot of arts events taking place over the next couple of days. And we're going to be talking about a couple of exhibitions taking place at the moment. Tell us, where would you like to begin?
In London, of course, where Sotheby's are hosting an exhibition called Portraits of Power. This is a look back at British queens from the Tudors to the present day. And of course, you'll see some big names there, if I might, that some of the ladies depicted had a real talent for ruling. You see Queen Elizabeth II there in an Andy Warhol silkscreen print. There's also portraits of Queen Elizabeth I, her namesake, Queen Victoria, more contemporary photographic pieces there. There's a collection of very important tiaras in this show as well. The emerald and diamond tiara designed for Queen Victoria by her husband, Prince Albert, and the Spencer tiara, famously worn by Diana Spencer for her wedding in 1981. It actually dates back to the Tudor royal family through her own family line. These are obviously very high value exhibits. But for those of us in the market for some more accessible objects, every time there's a royal event, a birth, a wedding, a jubilee, there's always a flurry of monarchy-themed souvenirs, the commemorative mugs, plates, tea towels, and badges. And of course, there's some important brand partnerships. Companies are very, very keen to jump on that event and exploit it, if I will, with some tie-in products. That can be anything from biscuits to chocolate to sandwich spreads. There's one place in London that is a treasure trove for this sort of objects. It's called the Museum of Brands, and it's director says that the royal family is really the greatest, most recognisable British brand there is today, beyond James Bond or Rolls-Royce. And for that reason, it has a key sociological function within society.
Talking about 200 years of royal souvenirs, which are an extraordinary period of time. We see them on postage stamps, on our coins and banknotes, and they tell a story which is a thread of the social history of Great Britain.
OK, and Olivia, something that's obviously pretty symbolic of the Queen is her choice of pet, which, needless to say, is the Corgi.
Yes, the Corgis are so closely linked to the Queen that the official emoji of the Jubilee is a tiny Corgi with a little crown. You can check out that if you look up the hashtag on Twitter or Instagram. And the Queen has kept Corgis since she was a little girl. She's had more than 30 over the course of her life. They are officially Pembroke Welsh Corgis, and that breed wasn't that popular in Britain before she had them. For those of us who don't own a Corgi or know a Corgi or want to get access to one, you can now in London with a pop-up Corgi cam in the Leadenhall Market. It's an experience that you can participate in. You can get a snap with the Queen's favourite dogs. Let's take a look.
Oh, we like dogs, we're dog lovers, so it was a really nice experience.
Corgis!
Brilliant!
We've never seen one like this close before. That's why we wanted to come as well.
They're so cute. Yeah, I love them.
We've been queuing for about 2 hours, but it was worth it because they brought the corgis out so we could pet them while we waited, which was nice.
OK, so the Corgis are clearly emblematic and very much associated with the monarchy. And they also appear, don't they, the Corgis, in quite a lot of film and television adaptations about the Queen's life. And the Queen herself has been portrayed by lots of actors and actresses, I should say, most famously perhaps Helen Mirren in The Queen, also in the series The Crown. There's another on-screen version of Her Majesty that's even closer to the truth, because this time it's a documentary. Tell us a bit more about it.
Indeed. This one's called Elizabeth, A Portrait in Parts, and it's originally to be released in theatres here in France and a couple of other countries and then headed to streaming platforms. Now, it's an affectionate, amusing and often quite touching celebration of the monarch made by the late director Roger Mitchell. It shows her, of course, as a source of longevity and stability in a radically changing country and an ever-evolving world. It's meticulously researched in terms of the archive work, and we do hear her referred to as the Queen, the monarch, the crowned head, but also we get a bit of an idea outside of the protocol of what she's like as an ordinary person. Let's get a look at the film in this clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you all.
Throughout the ages, it will not be easy.
We grew up loving the Queen. To us teenagers, she was a babe.
Look, it's on the wrong leg. Wear your tongue. You can't look down, because if you did, your neck would break.
Okay, so a documentary to look out for there, Olivia. And finally, no celebration is complete, of course, without some music. What's on the agenda the coming days?
Well, on Sunday, there will be a giant public parade through central London. That's called the Jubilee pageant, reflecting, of course, the diversity of contemporary Britain. You'll have Bollywood dancers, a Caribbean carnival, and then it ends with pop star Ed Sheeran singing God Save the Queen in front of Buckingham Palace. Now, speaking of that British national anthem, that song will get another outing from a familiar but perhaps alternative source. That's the Sex Pistols. They're re-releasing the 1977 anti-establishment version of the song, the one that rhymes the word Queen with fascist regime. I'm sure you remember it, Tom, even though you are perhaps
I was
a little
just
young.
born, just.
Let's get a little reminder of that punk version of the song.
God save the Queen, the fascist regime. It made you a moron. Potential hate bomb.
So in 1977, that was pretty controversial. The BBC refused to play that song on any of their platforms, but it still shot up the charts at the time of the Silver Jubilee. It reached number 2. And recently, when questioned about this re-release, the former Sex Pistols frontman, Johnny Rotten, seems to have softened in his attitude towards the monarchy, because he said of our current monarch that he's really proud of her for surviving and doing so well.
Perhaps he's hoping he's going to get a knighthood or something like that. All right, thank you very much indeed, Olivia Salazar-Winspear. Thank you for today's instalment of Culture.